What would you want to say to people who have used hateful words and hateful language for their own gain?
There's a reason why they do it, right? Because, they're playing up people's fears. There's a reason why they do it is because history tells them they can win elections that way. But when you use phrases like invasion to describe asylum seekers and refugees, when you use phrases like our country's become Islamicized, as was said by the former Home Secretary, when you say things like London is run by Islamists, as was said by the former Deputy Chairman of the Conservative Party, it normalises this sort of language. It also dehumanises, by the way, Muslims and asylum seekers and so forth. And that gives permission for people to behave this way. And I saw, by the way, during the Brexit campaign, language and behaviour that I thought was in the past coming back to the surface. There's a great line from Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King once said, "We can legislate to change the way you act, but not the way you think. But over a period of time, by changing the way you act, it will change the way you think." And it's so profound. Let me tell you why it's so profound. When my father came to this country and my mum in the 60s, there were signs saying no blacks, no Irish, no dogs on guest houses, on community centres and pubs and so forth. By blacks, they meant anybody that wasn't white. And then the Labour government outlawed these sorts of signs by bringing in the Race Relations Act. Within one generation, a child of immigrants is the mayor of London. Because by changing the way people behave, it changed the way they thought. They realised, actually, people of colour are okay. They're like us. Muslims aren't the boogeyman. They're like us. And Londoners were educated in a non-patronising way because of the law being changed to think differently and think we're all equal, right? My anxiety about Brexit and the poison in the last 10 years by mainstream politicians and others, the mainstream media's got a role to play in this as well, by the way, is it brought to the fore views that were on the periphery and below the surface. And it's brought into the mainstream stuff that was unacceptable. So the P word used against people like me when I was growing up, or the N word, or the Y word, or the W word, is now being mainstreamed again. You see it on social media, you see it being used as terms of abuse by those rioters over the last couple of weeks. And that's heartbreaking. We're now seriously concerned about regression and things going backwards.